within this section we'll look at the different views available within PowerPoint. Now normally you'd work in what's called normal views, which is what we're looking at now. So there's the title slide and then you've got the other slides like so. You'll notice if you look down the bottom here, there's various views available. So if I just move the mouse pointer over this one, this is called normal view. If I move the mouse pointer to the next one, that's called slide sorter. And if I click on that, the reason it's called slide sorter is because this just gives you all your slides and it's just an easy way of sorting them. So for instance, if you want that to be the last one in the presentation, you click on it, so it's now highlighted with the outline there, and you just drag that down to the bottom. Let's say you wanted this one here to be the last one, you just drag that down. If you wanted this to go in between these two, I would drag and move it there and let go. And then if I go to the normal view, you can see they've now been sorted. You can of course always just drag around in this view, but in slide sorter it's just easier because you've just got all the slides here, and especially if you've got a very large presentation, it just makes it easier to manipulate the slides. So that's normal view. This next one here is slide sorter view. The next one here is called reading view, and what that does, it gives you an image of the slide without any distraction, so you can just sort of work through and look at it and decide if you want to make any changes. So the idea of the reader view is that essentially you get the slide without any distraction, so you can just concentrate on the content. So it's good for reviewing your presentation once you've created it, and as you just sort of click on the mouse button, as you can see, you work your way through the slide. You can of course use the up and down arrow keys, so up, down, so you can manipulate them and go from one to the other. To escape from this, just simply press the escape key and you're back to where you were, in this case back to the slide sorter view. So remember, you've got normal view, slide sorter view, you've got reading view, and if I click on the first slide here and then go to this icon here, that says slide show. So this is what you'd use if you were going to present this presentation, via a projector or something, and you could introduce the slide and talk about this, press the mouse button, go to the next slide, and go to the next slide, and so on and so forth. So that's how you would use the presentation in a real sort of live presentation to an audience. In this particular case, you click the mouse button, it just simply goes from one slide to another. As we'll see later in this series of courses, you can add transitions and all sorts of effects and animations, so you can make it a lot more interesting than this, but this is just your basic slideshow, and you keep clicking, going through the various slides here, like so, and eventually you get to the end of it, and there you are, back to where you started. So those are the view icons down there. If I go back to the normal view here, you will notice if you look at the top here, you've got a view tab. So if I click on the view tab, you can access those various things here. So you can go from normal to outline, slide sorter. You've got a notes page, more on that later, and then you've got the reading view here. You've also got these other things called master views. Again, we'll cover those later, but these are the main ones you're going to work on. Probably in most cases it'll be either normal, outline, or slideshow. While we're looking at the view tab here, notice you have got some other options here. So for instance, you've got a ruler, so if you want very precise placement of objects, you can use the ruler there. So click there to take it off, click again to put it on. You can also have grid lines, which can be useful for alignment sometimes. Or you can have guides. You've got this zoom tool. You've got fit to window, which is quite useful. So let's say you'd zoomed in to maybe 400% by clicking on here and clicking on OK. If you then clicked on where it says fit to window, then it will just fit the slide within the window so you can see everything. Something else that's quite useful in the view here is you can look at a sort of grayscale. So if you're going to be printing on black and white, you get an idea of what it's going to look like. These days, normally you'd print into a color printer, but if you wanted to print to a grayscale or black and white printer, that's how you do it. Click here and go back to the color view.